Seeking a connection with the divine has always been part of my life. From childhood, growing up, going to church, being made to go to church, sometimes forced to go to church, forced to pray, and so on. From that to doing it on my own, willingly going to church, willingly praying, and so on, seeking that connection with the divine and seeking to maintain and then strengthen the connection with the divine has always been part of my life. Prayer has always been part of my life. My outlook on spirituality changed and evolved as I got older, but prayer has always been part of my life. And dealing with depression, prayer is something that definitely helped. Whenever I fell into a state of depression, I would always pray. And I actually prayed a lot more when I was feeling okay. And that's how I've always been. I guess just kind of giving thanks for the freedom and for that good feeling. I always prayed a lot more when I was feeling good, when I was feeling irie, feeling high, feeling blissful, and so on. I always prayed a lot more. But in dealing with depression, definitely prayer helped. I would always ask for release, ask for freedom, ask for just for me to be done with the repeating cycle of falling into a state and having suicidal tendencies and so on. And I for me, strengthening my connection with the divine occurred when I changed the way I prayed. Because for many years of my life, maybe most of my life, prayer was asking. I ask a lot. So my prayer was 99.99% asking for this, asking for that, asking for this, asking for that. And I felt there was a change. I felt a strengthening, a deepening of my connection of the divine when I changed the way that I prayed. When I changed my prayer from asking to thanking, to majority thanking. And at this point in my life, when I pray, is just thanking. So expressing gratitude, that's when there was the real change, the real felt deepening of the connection with the divine and a respect for the divine, and developing greater respect, admiration for the divine and for the creator, was when I changed the way I prayed, changed from asking to thanking God for all that I have, for everything, whatever would come to mind during the prayer, and thanking God for what I wish to have, which in my case, dealing with depression, back then it was all about freedom. And whenever I prayed, it was almost never about anything material. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but trying to be permanently done with falling into a state of depression. The most important thing for me was freedom. That's why most times when I post something on Facebook and so on, you'll see #freedom, because that has been the most important thing for me for many years. And whenever I prayed, I would give thanks, like I said, give thanks for all the things that I have, and also give thanks for the things that I wish to have. And this is when there was a felt deepening in my connection with the divine, and respect, admiration for the divine, when I changed how I prayed and changed my prayers from asking to thanking. And this is something you can definitely try out. And try out praying, but instead of asking, express gratitude. Express gratitude for all that you have, that you can think of, and also express gratitude for what you wish to have. And in my case, dealing with depression, what I wish to have was more confidence, higher self-esteem, a higher sense of self-worth. I thank God for freedom from anxiety, freedom from depression, freedom from over self-consciousness, freedom from paranoia, freedom from freedom from overthinking, freedom from negative thought patterns, freedom from replaying events in my mind, and freedom from should have I should have done this, I should have done that, and just holding on. And that's what I believe really put me or really used to put me in a state of depression, is holding on to things, holding on to the past, the immediate past and the distant past, holding on to things that I should have done, I could have done differently, and just and just replaying them in my mind. And I would have those, I would replay an event in my mind over and over and over, seeing how I could have done this differently. I should have said this, I should have done that. And this is what really would just put me, because there's no way I could go back to yesterday. I cannot go back to yesterday 5 minutes ago. I cannot go back to 10 years ago. But all these things would come back, and I would just blame myself, and just feel, I would feel like I would be in a different position if I had not made these mistakes. This would have gone, yesterday would have gone, today would be so much better if yesterday had not gone like that, and yesterday happened like that because of the mistakes I made. And all of this I would replay in my mind, and I would ask the Creator for freedom from that, freedom from excessive thinking, freedom from worrying, freedom from stressing, freedom from just beating myself up and draining my energy with all the thinking. And like I said, the strengthening in my connection with the divine really occurred when I stopped asking, or I asked a lot less, and started to give thanks for everything that I had and everything that I wished to have. And that is when gradually I started to feel a deepening in my connection with the divine. And I started to have more respect for the divine. I started to have just I started to have these feelings hit me, where I would just be somewhere with friends, and I would just be like, wow, like, life is just an amazing thing. Life is so beautiful. Life is so wonderful. And human beings are so beautiful. The human body is such an amazing thing. I would just have these feelings hit me. These vibrations hit me. Love, peace, and bliss for the planet. And there's so many beautiful things that we overlook when we struggling, when we in a difficult situation. We overlook all the blessings, and we get so caught up in what's going wrong, and we forget about what's going right. All these feelings and vibrations and thoughts would just come to me more and more as I practice gratitude in prayer. So it definitely allowed me to strengthen my connection with the divine, which caused me to rise even more out of the repeated pattern of falling into depression. So falling into depressive states went from every week to every month to every 2 months, every 3 months, and the gap got wider and wider as I practiced the gratitude in prayer and so on. Okay? Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope that you got value from it. Please share it with somebody who could gain from it. Give it a like to support the channel and the movement. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Film Life family, because Film Life is all about elevation. And just check out the other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time with the next video in this series. Maybe the next video on the channel or not, but definitely I'll be continuing with this series of overcoming depression, putting it out there, how I was able to just be permanently done with the repeated cycle of depression. And thank you so much. Peace and love. One love. Firm Life.